Hey everybody, it's Jen. Welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about packing for hot weather. We're talking Paris in the summer hot, Greece in the summer hot, and maybe the hottest place on the planet in the summer, Orlando, Florida. I'm going to share with you my top tips after being a travel YouTube creator for 8 years and traveling to all of these places in the hottest of hot months, what I pack in my suitcase, and my best tips and tricks to help you develop a beautiful capsule wardrobe for your summer travels that's fun, stylish, and most importantly is going to keep you cool. And I'm really glad that you're here. This is sort of a mock packing video, but not really, because I do have some travel planned to Orlando in just about a month. So I'm a little bit early to be putting together my clothes, but you know me, I like to plan in advance. It's always fun to put together new outfits for travel. And I'm really excited to show you what I'm taking on this upcoming trip. Now, Orlando in July is going to be miserable. This is not my first rodeo. It is much like the inside of a dog's mouth. But really, anywhere you're traveling in the summer anymore, it's going to be hot. And as they found out in France just a few weeks ago, it may be record hot this summer. So more than ever, we want to make sure we're really being mindful that we're packing pieces that are going to look cute, but are going to keep us really cool and comfortable no matter the temperatures that we might experience. Now, it is not important that you do carry-on only. I don't want you, though, even if you're checking a bag, to have a lot of heavy suitcases. And that's because airports, train stations, subways, they can all get very, very hot. And getting overheated is going to make you not have a good trip. So even if you're checking a bag, I still think it's wise to have a really good capsule wardrobe. Not only because it's going to make you more efficient and not get so overheated when you're traveling, but also because it just takes a layer of thinking out of things so that instead of focusing on what you're going to wear from day to day, you can focus on the experience itself and spending time with people you love. And really, that's why we all travel. Now, I know I promised you guys I was going to do a Sudoku, I can never know how to pronounce that word, packing video. Honestly, though, the more I looked at it and the more I watched video after video after video from other creators, it's kind of a gimmick. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but a capsule wardrobe, Sudoku wardrobe, the 5-4-3-2-1 method, 3x3x3, all of these things that are all different names, and they're really just all the same thing. A group of clothing that all work together that you can dress up or dress down for different circumstances. In our case, that are made of breathable fabrics that are not going to hold odors, that are going to be naturally antibacterial. And oh wait, that brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is one of my favorite brands in the world, and that is Wool And. You guys know I have loved this brand for many years. In fact, if you go back and watch my, I believe it was 2023 packing video, I took a ton of Wool And clothing on that trip, and I can tell you that every piece I've ever bought from them still looks brand new. Now, why do we love merino wool for summer travel? Here's the thing. It's temperature regulating. So it's going to keep you warm, but it's also going to keep you cool. And Wool And does a great job of blending wool with different fabrics that not only keep you cool, but also are really high performance fabrics. So they're really easy to take care of, and they are perfect for packing. Let me tell you why I love this brand. Small brand. Real people based in Portland, Oregon. You know who you're dealing with. They make the most beautiful pieces. I actually had them on my radar a few years ago because I heard of this 100-day challenge where they were encouraging women to wear the same dress for 100 days, which really puts the emphasis on the life that we're living and not just the clothes that we're putting on our body. And I just love that so much. I also love that they're really encouraging us all to buy fewer pieces that are of higher quality, that are going to stand the test of time because they're not going to need to be washed as often. And merino wool is such a great fabric for that. Now, the pieces that they sent me this time are all so flexible in a capsule wardrobe. Things like this really, really cute skirt that I love. The dress that I'm wearing that I'm going to show you more of in a minute. This might be the most flexible dress I've ever owned. Flexible is not the word I wanted. What is the word that I would have used? Versatile. Let's go with versatile. I mean, I suppose flexible works. This dress is from them. Now, you've seen this dress in a different color. I actually gave it to a friend. Y'all know I got my colors done a few months back, and the color of that dress was just not doing me any favors. But this color, oh my gosh, I love. Such a hard hitter, so versatile. You can style it in so many different ways. And I've been talking to you guys about merino wool the entire time I've had a YouTube channel because it is the perfect fabric for travel. When I take my merino wool pieces out after even a 7, 8, 9, 10-day trip, they still smell and look the same way they did when I put them in my suitcase, which is kind of crazy. I'm so thrilled that they wanted to work with me. Y'all know I have not done clothing hauls in a really long time as I've leaned away from fast fashion, but this happens to be one of those brands that checks all the boxes. I will encourage you to A, follow them on social media because whenever they do a drop, that's where they're going to talk about it. And B, if you see anything in this video that you love, do not hesitate. Because they are a small brand, things do sell out, and I would hate to see you miss out on something. Now, they do restock, so if you notice something is sold out, you can ask to be notified. I have done that multiple times, but yeah, totally fangirling. You will not be sorry that you bought pieces from this brand, and I'm so grateful that I got to partner with them today. Let's do it this way. Let's go over the pieces one by one. Then I'll show you how I styled them. I actually did the styling video yesterday. I had so much fun. It's trying on clothes like that. Like I have so much more appreciation for people that are like actually fashion models, which clearly I am not. But it's a lot of work, like styling clothes, putting on all these different outfits and then filming myself. Although I don't have a glam squad, I will say that. If I had other people helping me, it wouldn't be quite so exhausting. But the first two pieces are the ones that I'm wearing right now. We have this denim jacket, and then we have this maxi dress in this beautiful sage green color. Now this dress, let me tell you, and you will see when I style the outfits, I think it's like the sisterhood of the traveling dress. This dress could go out to a fancy restaurant and you could also wear it to the pool, and it is a merino wool blend. It is soft and drapey and it just makes me feel pretty. Let's pretend that I followed the rules of the Sudoku packing method, which is technically 3 bottoms, 3 tops, and 3 layers. So for my bottoms, I have this skirt from Woolland. Love this color. It does have pockets. It has built-in shorts with pockets. I guess that would be what makes it a skirt. And then it also has a zippered pocket back here. These double gauze pants from Packed. You guys know I've had these for a while. I love the double gauze material for travel because it's meant to look crinkled, so you don't have to worry about if that's not ironed. And then I have these blue denim shorts from Title IX. Now, if the weather is really hot, I would not go with like a stiff denim. I would definitely go with something like this. It's almost more of a chambray. It's really flowy. All right. Now for our tops, we have this blue and white striped tank top from Woolland. I'm actually going to order this in the green color as well. It is a wool and nylon blend, so it has a little bit of stretch to it. It won't hold odors, antibacterial, and it's super, super cute, so love that. I have this blue cotton t-shirt. Cotton is another great fabric, kind of your trifecta, right? You've got linen, merino wool, and cotton. That's what you really want to go with for the highest temperatures. This is the double gauze top that goes with those pants. I've also got this scarf, which I think is from Longchamp. I bought this in, well, I don't think, I know. I bought this in the Rome airport and I just love it. And all of the colors go together. I've got this chambray top. Now, other hot weather packing videos, I've taken my white linen top, which I still highly recommend. If this trip was a cruise, I would probably go with that. But this will work in a lot of different ways that I'm going to show you in just a minute. And yes, long sleeves for hot temperatures are a great idea if it's the right fabric, because it will help your body to temperature regulate. It will keep the sun off of your arms. Trust me. And if you don't believe me, next time you're in an area where people are working outside, see what they're wearing. And I can almost guarantee you if they're working on a roof or they're working in people's yards, they're wearing long sleeves. So listen to them. They're smart. They know what they're talking about. These are kind of a bonus. This puts me at like 11 pieces. So see, I'm not really following the rules very well, but these are the merino wool bike shorts from Woolland. These shorts I have been wearing on repeat since they sent them to me. These will work for working out. You could wear them separately, like with maybe a longer top might be cute. And you can also wear them underneath the dresses, and it has a pocket. So these are such hard hitters. Definitely recommend these. And then we have the dress I'm wearing. I think I already told you about that. And then this beautiful woolen dress. But this dress is so freaking versatile. For dressier, I would definitely wear it maybe with a belt. Can you see how drapey and beautiful the fabric is? One of the things I want to show you, and I want you to look for in any of the items that you're going to use for a capsule wardrobe, especially if you're hoping to do carry-on, is how small do things pack up. So this is a whole dress, right? So in the Sudoku method, this would be like a top and a bottom, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know how to account for that. Just remember, man exists for the Sudoku. No, the Sudoku method exists for man. Man doesn't exist for the Sudoku method. So make it work for you. That's the most important thing. But look how small this packs up. And the other thing is it will not wrinkle. Like I take this out of my suitcase and it looks exactly the same as it did when I put it in, which is just such a blessing. So I already know some of you are like, how did you get like a week or 10 days or whatever of outfits out of that many clothes? Oh, you're not going to believe this. It took me a long time, but it was a lot of fun. So let's go to the footage, and I'm going to do a little bit of voiceover here while I talk you through all of the outfits that I was able to put together with just these 10 pieces of clothing. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so we're starting off with the combinations with the skirt and the blue and white striped tank top. These different looks are super versatile. They are definitely in the same vein, but they also made me feel very different in each one of them. Some look more leaning towards touring, some are more towards maybe shopping or going out to lunch or museums, but they all feel really put together. Then we started working with the blue gauze pants. The double gauze is such a great fabric, can be dressed up or down, and because every single top worked with them, great combination. Also love the denim shorts. The denim shorts are probably the most casual of all the pieces, but even when they're paired with that denim long sleeve shirt, that blue and white stripe, it's just such a nice addition. And I feel like it makes it feel like different outfits even though we're wearing the same pieces of clothing. Now let's move on to this maxi dress that I'm wearing. This dress, y'all, wear it with tennis shoes, wear it touring, wear it to even the theme parks, all of the things. Put on your sun hat, use it with your bathing suit, use it to go out to dinner with a little bit of nice jewelry. I love a dress that can be worn multiple different ways. It just makes me so incredibly happy. And then we move into the blue dress that I feel like does the exact same thing. This is the one that you could probably dress up the most. If you paired this with like a scarf belt and maybe even a wrap or some even more formal jewelry, here I have it with the scarf and the hat. This dress could be as not maybe for a wedding, but it would be suitable for a nice dinner out. And if you do have like some more formal dinners out, I would recommend maybe packing just a little bit elevated shoes, maybe a tiny heel or a wedge, maybe for a cruise, that sort of thing. But all of these pieces definitely, with the exception of like, I wouldn't wear the denim shorts to a nice dinner, but most of them you can really style in a way where you're going to feel appropriate no matter where you go without having tons and tons of clothing that you have to both keep track of and take up mental space as you're trying to figure out what it is that you're going to wear. Everything that I'm showing you coordinates with everything else, and that is the key. Again, no matter what you call this style of packing, what it really is just ensuring that things go together so that you can pack fewer pieces but pull a lot more outfits. I would say too, this idea doesn't just work for travel. It also works for your own personal wardrobe. And for those of us that are trying to pare down what we own, working on having a wardrobe where things coordinate with everything else means we can have fewer pieces, we can take better care of them, we can keep better track of them, they take up less space in our closet, and I think it's just a great way to live overall. And I was really happy with the way all of these pieces came together. so let's talk real quick about some things I'm not going to pack. I'm not going to pack anything that can't do double duty. For instance, I'm not packing a cover-up that is only for the beach and the pool. A lot of the things that I'm showing, including this dress that I'm wearing, these gauze pants and the shirt that go with that, can be used for the beach or the pool. You don't need to pack a separate cover-up. Things need to be able to do at least 2 different things, if not 3 different things. This dress I'm wearing can be worn as a pool cover-up, can be worn casually with walking shoes to tour, and can be worn with my sandals and a little bit better jewelry and a nicer handbag, and I can use it to go out. Speaking of sandals and shoes, I'm not packing more than 3 pairs of shoes total. That includes the shoes I'm wearing on the plane, which will be my more serious walking shoes, 1 pair of sandals that will also work for dresses in the evenings, and then maybe a pair of flip-flops. Here I wore my Tory Burch Miller sandals, but I want to show you guys these sandals from Taos. I actually just bought myself a second pair. I don't think in the history of me buying sandals, I've ever bought the same sandals twice, but these are so amazing. I can't remember the name of them, but I'll definitely link them below. The reason I bought a second pair, Scott didn't wear them. I wore these all over Italy. We got stuck in the rain and actually in a puddle. There was a little bit of flooding where we were, so they were completely submerged in water. They're still in pretty good shape, but the edges here are starting to curl up a little bit, so I decided to order a second pair. I cannot tell you how great these sandals are for walking, especially in Europe when you've got cobblestones and things like that. This time, however, I am going to use a waterproofing cream on them. You can also buy it in a spray form. Highly, highly recommend, because as well as the heat, a lot of times you're going to be dealing with rain. That's true in Orlando, that's true in Europe. So having shoes that you can wear in the rain is a really big deal. And I find if you just use some weatherproofing on these, they will do much, much better. But I just love them so much. And I feel like they are pricey. I think these were $155, but the workmanship on them is so good. They will last and last, and I promise you your feet will thank you. So yeah, definitely love those. Other things I'm not packing. I'm not packing anything too formal because it is summer, and I find unless you're really going to like a formal event, summer is just naturally a little bit more casual. I'm not packing a lot of makeup because makeup in the summer is just going to melt off anyway. There's really no point. And I'm just keeping things a little bit more minimal. It just helps with the psychological load as well, so that you can spend your time enjoying instead of worrying about keeping track of all the things that you packed. Okay, so other pieces I showed you in that video were my sun hats. You need to pack sun hats. I like to have, and in fact I have it right here, so I'll show it to you. I like to have a wide brimmed hat like this one. This is the Victoria from the Wallaroo Hat Company. This can be smushed up and packed in your suitcase. I also like to have a water resistant hat for when we're going to the beach or the pool that I can wear in the water. This one is from the Pony Flow Company, and I love it both because it has a hole for your hair, but also because it's black on the inside, so sweat and everything doesn't make it all disgusting. I can't stand that. I love a white hat, but I can't stand when the inside gets all gross. I also want to talk about hair in the hot weather. I definitely will be wearing my hair up. I have a lot of hair, and because it's curly, if it's hot and humid, it is going to be all over the place. So I'm going to want to have a cute way to put my hair up. Now, obviously, a hat is always going to be an improvement for your hair, but also I love a beautiful tortoise shell clip. This one happens to be from Kitsch. And okay, so fast and so easy to put your hair up. Just stick that in there and clip it. And if your hair is wild like mine, you can kind of, put it around. But look how cute that is. And it gets my hair up off of my neck. It also looks kind of stylish. It's not just throwing it in a ponytail. I love that. My big thing is, try to set yourself up for success so that you can have pieces that make you feel and look really, really cute, but also that are really practical in terms of the weather. Remember too that if you're traveling to Europe, a lot of times even air conditioning is not going to be what it is here in the US. And on that note, Let's talk about some tips and tricks practically once you get to your destination to ensure that you're not going to get heat stroke and wind up in the hospital. And no, I'm not being dramatic. A lot of people wind up in the hospital with heat stroke in Florida and in Europe and in lots of places over the summer because they don't follow some simple guidelines. So the first thing I want you to do is acclimate yourself before you ever leave at home. And do that by going for walks outside, yes, even when it's warm. I want you to get your steps in. It's really challenging to go from being indoors in air conditioning, maybe even working out in air conditioning, right? If you're just doing your yoga, your Pilates, you're on a treadmill, your fitness classes, and then you go to Europe or Orlando and you're walking 5, 6, 7 miles in the heat. You've got to give your body a chance to adjust to that. So I think several weeks, if not a month or more before your trip, start getting out and walking when it's a little warmer. Now, I still don't want you walking in the heat of the day. And when you're on your trip, I don't want you walking in the heat of the day. When the kids were little and we would take them to Orlando in the summer, our rule was always done by 1, which meant by 1 o'clock we were at our hotel with our feet up in the air conditioning. We did the majority of our touring early in the mornings or late at night when it was dark. And you just need to plan for that middle of the day. In Europe, in fact, most places are closed from like 2:30 until 5:30 because the smart people are in the shade, sipping a nice cold drink, doing something restorative for themselves, and you should follow their lead. Speaking of things to drink, alcohol is not hydrating. I'm sorry. You want to drink on your vacation, that's great, but make sure you're also drinking plenty of water. Drink things with electrolytes in them. Try to keep ahead of that fluid intake because when you're sweating a lot, you're losing a lot of fluid, you're losing a lot of sodium, and you really need to be aware of that. I also want you to remember that you're not going to get the same amount of stuff done in July as you are in January. When you made your plans for your trip, you were sitting in the air conditioning at your computer and you had all the energy in the world. When you're on the trip, you might find that your energy is not quite what you expected it to be, so you might need to temper your expectations. I realize it might be your one big trip of the year and you want to get it all done, but you just can't. And coming home feeling beat up and exhausted is no way to end a vacation. So take that big list of plans and really put it through the lens of it's going to be really hot and humid. How can I make this easier on myself? How can I take a few things off the list? I remember in particular, the day that my friend Adam and I went to Pompeii. Ironically, I was wearing a Woolland dress that day. Please go to the picture for proof. We had planned to tour Pompeii in the morning and then do like a walking tour of Naples. Well, we got done with Pompeii and it was very, very hot that day. It was very crowded. And it was like maybe 1 o'clock and we looked at each other. We're like, there's no way. There's no energy left. So we went back to the ship. We had lunch at the ship. We had a lovely afternoon laying by the pool. Do I wish we had pushed forward and toured Naples? I mean, it would have been nice to see Naples, but I really think we would have been so miserable that at some point the experience starts to be less enjoyable because of your own heat and exhaustion. And I really think we need to be more mindful of that. So whatever your trip is coming up, number one, tell me about it in the comments. I'm very excited for you. Are you doing what I'm doing this year, kind of staying closer to home, whether that's because of the price of gas or because you have loved ones that you need to take care of or whatever the case may be? Let's still try to plan something to look forward to because I feel like that's so important. And let's remember to be mindful about what we pack, how we pack it, and let's take those things that are going to ensure that we're going to have the best time possible and we're not going to end up with heat stroke in the process. Thank you again to Woolland for sponsoring today's video. Please go down to the description box. Like I said earlier, if you saw something that you liked, make sure you order it now because things are going to sell out. And whatever you're doing today, I hope you're finding joy, and I will see you in the next video.